Hello, welcome to Quackalope. Thank you for being here. Today I'm bringing you a gameplay of Dragon Eclipse from Awakened Realms, their brand new solo or two-player game. I'll be showing off the solo version of this, of course. That's currently what the prototype has in store. Now, this is a very interesting game. It's a creature battling, kind of boss battling or scenario battling game set in the guise or with the premise of gaining, training, and instructing your creature, Pokemon-esque, if you will. On top of that, they're going to have booster packs. Now, this is not a living card game, it's not a trading card game, it's not a collectible card game. Every card in the game, the specials, the unique, the holos, all of it will come in the box. But the way that you actually grow and develop and create your characters is by playing and then opening any number of a random assortment of booster packs. These packs, like I said, will all be in the core box, but as you play, you'll actually be breaking them and discovering what you get, making this a really interesting approach to a deck-building game that has a lot of variation depending on which copy you're playing and how you cycle through those cards. On top of that, there is also the really cool premise that they're going to have the ability for you to reseal, reorganize, and replay the game, despite the fact that you've already opened up some of the boosters. So you might be able to recycle yours and have the boosters still be randomized. You also might be able to, depending on how the mix of cards plays, hand this off to a friend and have them have a totally different experience. So if two people have a copy of Dragon Eclipse, I don't know if it's going to be randomized or if it's going to be structured card packs. If it's randomized at all, there's a strong chance of playing through different copies of the game and having actually a different experience as well. If it's structured, then resealing those packs and opening them in a random order is enough variation to give you a really unique feeling. So, this is Scenario 1. In the prototype we have Scenario 1 and Scenario 2. There's a chance that if you're watching this... No, there's a chance that you are not watching this, because the publisher actually specifically asked us to showcase and highlight Scenario 2 if we're doing gameplay content. Now, I'm going to check to see if anyone else has already posted Scenario 1, and follow up with Awakened Realms to see if I'm allowed to post Scenario 1, because it is more lore, but this is very much an introduction to the game. It's not a hardcore, show you how it actually officially runs. Also, Scenario 2 has a lot more going on in terms of what you're looking for. I'll be playing through both scenarios, highlighting both scenarios. This will either be a Patreon exclusive video or it'll be approved by Awakened Realms and will be here on the main channel. If that's the case, go ahead and leave a comment down below. Say thank you to Awakened Realms for letting us showcase more of this game. I've already read through the rulebook. Shira read through the rulebook. We sat down, we played together. I've been through the parts of this scenario already. I'm going to try to take different pathways so I can experience some new things on camera with you. And I have the rulebook next to me. So if need be, I'll stop, pause, and check the rules. But please keep in mind this is a prototype, so everything is not official. This is a demonstration of how the game functionally and experientially should play. It does not mean that this is exactly how the game will play when push comes to shove. Alright, so with that being said, let's go ahead and dive in to Dragon Eclipse. Let's see if I can discover some things that I've never seen before. Alright. And again, does anyone else out there have a perpetual, unrelenting tickle in their throat? Shira says it's allergies, but I've had it since I was little. I had it ever since I had bronchitis is when I remember having just a constant, gentle tickle. But it makes filming videos very difficult, especially when you're solo, because normally I can clear my throat and let the other person talk for a while, or pause and swallow and try to adjust it, scratch that itch. But when I'm on camera by myself, there's no one here to help out. Introduction. Cairburg. You've always loved this city, perched atop a barren hill from which you can admire a scenic vista of all forests, winding merchant roads and low rocky hills. Then you look at those wind turbines connected to the water pumps and forges. You love the sound that they make a little less. But they make you proud, so you forgive all the noise. You are one of the few people responsible for making sure all this works properly. There are engineers who supervise the steel and brass, and there are tamers like you, people who train and care for creatures that support the whole structure. You check one of the creatures that controls the airflow through the windmills and turbines, the Windraiser. It's a timid creature possessing tremendous power, and utters a pleasant sound when it sees you. Tomorrow you will train and play with it, as well as several other creatures, but today both you and it have work to do. You spend some time with the Windraiser showing it how to use the powers more efficiently, and you give the creature a little treat. Soon, the wind flowing through the city accelerates and the turbines spin a little faster. Setup. Place the following components in your play area: the item deck, the tray with secrets, the map book. There is no map book. Instead, we have a map sheet. There will be a map book in the final game. Tokens and markers, and the creature tray, which I think is up there or here. It's some combination of the above. Go to script 1. Some beautiful artwork here. And script 1. I haven't actually stopped to admire the artwork yet. So is this... I don't know if this is like kites that are flying, or if this is the wind turbine, like a different variation on wind energy. The houses look very rustic, stone and wood and cobble. I like it. After you make sure the Windraiser is fine, your long day of work is finished. Today has been somewhat stressful, as you, along with a few other Careburg tamers, have been checking on the creatures in the city. In the end, everything is in order and you can relax. You head towards the Shaded Tavern, a place that serves the best stew in the area. And today, to add to the charm, a storyteller is giving a performance. When you enter, you are enveloped by a wonderful smell of herbs. The storyteller, Ida, if you remember correctly, is finishing a love story. I have 2 more tales for you, my dear folk. I can elevate you to the sky realm of the Dragon Guardians, the mighty beasts of old who watch over our world. Or I can enshroud you in the darkness of the eclipse, the dreadful event from the past that left our civilization in ruin. So, I read about the Dragon Guardians already. Let's learn about the eclipse. Go to script 11. Ida begins the story. The eclipse, you've probably seen an eclipse or two in your life, when one of the moons obscures the sun for several minutes. But there was a moment when both moons aligned between the sun and our world, causing a pitch-black shadow so deep that the seas felt lost, and they strayed over the lands, destroying our great cities and culture. We, humans, suddenly found ourselves on the brink of extinction. If it were not for our tamers, their amazing creatures, and the Dragon Guardians, we would not be here today. And when it comes to the Guardians, go to script 8. A sudden tremor erupts the story. Ida freezes with her mouth agape, visibly confused. You're also quite shocked. You've never experienced such a strong quake. You're gathering your thoughts when the door bursts open and a man enters the tavern. The creatures! He manages to catch his breath. They all went mad! They lashed out at the machines and all the people around. The main turbine's in danger. You recognize the man as one of the engineers responsible for maintenance. He knows what he's talking about, and the problem seems serious. If something happens to the creatures of the machine, Careburg's functions could be disabled for months. Go to script 5. The man spots you. Oh, Tamer! What bliss you're here! Come! You must help me! If a Windraiser is actually attacking the people who try to approach it, you won't be able to do anything without a creature to aid you. Fortunately, your creature companion rests inside the room you rented in the tavern. You tell the man you'll be right back and run towards the room, chased by his baffled shouts. You open the door to your room and choose one. In Emberling, the fire lizard jumps into your arms, or the iceling. The ice reptile crawls from the bed. Oh, I am usually, when it comes to picking I'm usually grass, and it's not giving me a grass option here. So I think the next best thing, if you got Bulbasaur, is it Squirtle or is it Charmander? I think I'm a Charmander guy. I've played a little bit with Iceling. I like Iceling. Don't get me wrong. I think I'm a Charmander guy. So I'm going to grab all the cards. Oh, okay. The fire lizard jumps into your arms expecting a treat. Go to script 6. Take all cards behind divider 1. So this is how everything starts. So I'm grabbing the cards behind divider 1. Oh, you're divider 2. Sorry, buddy. I'll stick you back in. And good job, Jesse. The first time you have to draw cards from the thing, your giant thumbs get in the way. Divider 1. So, the cards that I have. Take cards 4, 5, and 6, and all action cards, and put them in the chosen slot in your creature tray. You don't have to read them now, but hear me out. We want to read them now. So, unavailable in this demo. The perfect thing to remind you this is a prototype. Every creature will have their own mission. I'll go through this in just a moment, but the core idea is that every creature will also have their own personal objective, their habits or traits that they want to fulfill. Our Emberling is another one of those. We have the Emberling stats here, so we've got the defense, the health, the attack power, and the movement. I'll put that in my player creature slot. We have the special ability, which is Fire Nova, which deals a lot of damage. We'll talk about that in just a bit. And we should have our 10 core cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. With 3 of them, right here, being specialization cards, Emberling specific cards, and the rest of them being a little bit more generic. We'll go through the cards when we actually start the gameplay, and you'll see how everything kind of gets up and running. Moving over, assemble the Emberling standee and place it next to the creature tray. Joke's on you, we have an Emberling miniature, which looks just, absolutely glorious. Get a look at this guy. That is a beautiful player model. Really dynamic. That's what I love about it. Then, open the creature study page on page 1 and insert cards 1A and 2B. This is where we start. This is our Pokedex. This is where we start learning what creatures we have. I have Iceling in here already. Don't murder me. I know. I've already been through this. Emberling. Emberlings always lay 2 eggs. When the first hatches, the mother leaves the nest. And from then, it's up to the oldest Emberling to care for its sibling. Fiery and energetic from the moment it takes its first breath, it tends to the egg with surprising gentleness. So that ties into what our Emberling's personal mission might be, which is unavailable in this prototype. Sibling's duty. Carry the egg to the place of the Emberling's origin, where the creature can finally fulfill its duty. Quests are unavailable in this demo, but we'll still pretend like we have it. I like that the creatures you have are going to give you their own side missions and their own side quests. For me, it makes them feel a little bit more alive and invested, but it also is a good way to relate to those creatures as part of the game's story. What we discover along the way will be not just because we're dragging these creatures with us, but we're trying to support and bring them to fulfill whatever their mission in life is as well. Okay. Open the creature study on page 1 and insert cards 1A and 2B. Okay, go to script 20. Moving on. Your companion and you run from the tavern, following the trembling engineer. He is in fact leading you towards the same Windraiser you tended not even an hour ago. You can immediately tell that the creature is terrified and panicking. It treats everyone as a threat, so it fights back, attacking approaching humans and even moving machine parts. You need to get close to the Windraiser to calm it down, but that won't be possible without wearing it down first. You order the elemental lizard to carefully step forward with a tactic in mind. I have no tactics, but this is the prologue. I should be able to handle it. Okay. Set up the combat following the instructions below. Prepare the combat arena. We have the combat arena in place. Find arena card 1. We have arena card 1 in place here. Windraiser should calm down when you tire it out, but your creature will also be exhausted. You should hurry. When the enemy deck is empty, immediately go to script 73, and I can lose if I have no health. Yep. All right. Moving on. Prepare your creatures. Take both creature cards from the creature tray and place in the player creature slot so they connect. Place your creatures in the standee on the space 1 of the arena. Take all, if you see the cards over here. The cards connect. Take all action cards from the creature tray, shuffle them together, and place in the player deck. Draw action cards to the 1 to 4 slots. Find the appropriate elemental help card, which is going to be fire. That'll go here. That just tells me the basic things I can do. Like, I can move, I can discard and draw a card, and I can attack for 4 elemental. Find the appropriate elemental card and place it next to your creature. In later scenarios, you will prepare your creature deck before each scenario, because you'll actually do some deck building. So I'm going to flip these cards out here, then we'll cover them back up again. We'll talk about how these work in just a moment. Alright, prepare your enemy. Take cards 15 and 16A. Follow the setup instructions on the card 15B. Setup. Place a special ability token on the third space. So, this will denote that he'll do his special ability then. And we need to find the wind tokens, tornado tokens, and they go on each one of these exclamation marks. Both you and the Wind Razor can move to a space with a tornado. Then I'll flip this back over. Assemble the frightened Wind Razor standee and place it on space 2 of the arena board. We have, once again, another lovely standee. Create an enemy action deck using the following enemy cards. So these are going to be the enemy cards that we have. We have 2 triangles, 2 pipsqueaks, and a blup. Those are not official name terms. Those are just the terms that came to my mind when I was looking at those shapes. They should be face up, so I'm going to shuffle them. And then set them face up because I will have a sense of what the creature is going to be doing. This time the creature doesn't have any taming cards. Normally you'd be able to tame and possibly capture the creatures. So you can't tame it. You'll have the opportunity to tame a creature in the near future. Gain 1 power. One little, I forget what it's called. Element, I suppose. It's what I'm going to be spending to take action cards or do special abilities or manipulate myself around the board, along with taking card actions themselves. You are ready to start combat. If you're not familiar with combat rules, read page rulebook XXXXXX. Close the adventure journal and start the combat. So, basic run of combat. On my turn, I can do each basic ability once. I could spend 1 to move, spend 1 to discard a card and draw a card, spend 4 to attack. I also can take one of these, gaining whatever elemental resource I get above it, and doing whatever the card says. We'll go through those in just a moment. After I go, the creature will go. Now, we can see the special ability here that will trigger on 3. That special ability is as follows. Blink to the space of the tornado that is farthest away from the opponent. We can also see the attack that's going to happen next, which is Rush. Rush is going to be a basic attack. He's going to run to me. Movement is 3. And he's going to attack me for a damage of 2. I currently have 14 health, and our lovely Wind Razor here has only 18. So, presumably, I should be able to handle it and take it out. Okay, the cards that I have here. Lava Lash. Deal 3 damage in range 3. You may discard 2 power to resolve another card. I don't have 2 power now, but when I take this, I'll gain 3. Now, I do have my special ability, which is Fire Nova. Deal 7 damage to each opponent in range 3. I have to spend 8 power to do that, though. So being able to enact another card immediately for 2 power doesn't seem like the worst trade. We have Flame Burst. Deal 2 damage to each opponent in range 2. Deal an additional 2 damage for each 4 power I have. So the more power I have, the stronger I will be. We have Offensive Stance, gain 1 power. Passive. Now, passive abilities, when they're in your discard, at the top of the deck, will have that effect this next round, so my attack power will be slightly stronger. And Double Strike. Attack. You may discard 2 power to attack again. Okay. I first need to move close enough to him to interact with him. Unless I do Lava Lash, which I will go ahead and do Lava Lash. So, I will gain 3 energy, or 3 elemental from that. I will then deal 3 damage to a creature within range 3 of me. So 3 damage to our Wind Razor here. I may discard 2 elemental, which I will do, to resolve another card. So this will go here. And the question is, what do I want to do next? I can go ahead and move. So I will go ahead and spend 1 elemental to move. And I have a movement of 2. So I'll move up here. What you don't know is I know that we want to be away from tornadoes. There is an attack that causes damage based on being adjacent to tornadoes, so we're not interested in being near them, so I've now moved away from them. But that's one of the reasons why the Wind Razor likes to pop over to the tornadoes. The other card that I'm going to enact, and I don't know. The rules haven't clarified this. I don't know if I get the power when I enact a second card, or if I only get the power from the first time that I enact. It might be in the rulebook. I did double check for this, so if the designers or someone could leave a comment down below clarifying that part for me, that would be helpful for the rest of the audience. For me, I'm going to rule in the classic KDM rule of death. I'm going to vote against gaining the power if I'm doing a second card. I'm going to say the first card I take is the one that I get the power. If I'm spending power to do a second card, I don't equate that cost, right? I don't get that cost back by doing like a level 2 card. That would make it a free action, basically. And I think that feels maybe a little bit fluffy. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and do a double strike here. Attack, you may discard 2 power to attack again. Oh, I don't want to do that because I don't have the additional power now because I had to move. I can do offensive stance, which would go ahead and give me a power and give me a passive attack. Or I can go ahead and do the Emberling Flame Burst, which would allow me to deal damage to each opponent in range 2 and deal additional damage for each power I have, but I don't have additional damage. What to do? You know, I think I'm just going to do the offensive stance. That will give me a little bit more damage this next turn. It'll also, because it gives me that passive action, that passive ability. But then on top of that, that's going to go ahead and give me at least 1 Ember back, and I'm ruling that I don't get the 2 from the top. These cards will slide down, my cards will shift, so the longer you keep cards in this row, the more powerful they'll be for your action. And we're going to go ahead and do the Windrazor's ability. So the Windrazer is going to do this top card, and then that card will shift down. So right now, it's going to rush and attack. It's already next to me, so it's not going to move. And it's going to attack for 2 damage. And I have no defense at the moment, so I'll go ahead and take 2 damage. Damage stays with me. It's not a free-for-all. It's not a, you got to pay to clear your damage, or you got to spend time to clear your damage. So you got to keep that in mind when you're deciding when and how you actually want to take hits. Now, the 2 new cards that we have that came out. Flaming Bite. Move and attack, it ignores defense. And Strike, attack, gain 1 more Ember, or 1 more power, elemental, whatever the name is. Oh, we do have Flame Burst up here. Flame Burst would put me in a position where I'd be able to do 4 total damage. But I'm not doing my general... I wouldn't be using my general passive ability then, because I would have been enacting Flame Burst. One other thing that I haven't seen directly in the rulebook is when I take a card, does this card immediately go to my discard, or could I take the card, then resolve my attack, getting the bonus of this passive without it being covered up? I think that when I take a card, it goes here. I either can attack beforehand with the bonus, or afterwards without the bonus, but I don't get to eat my cake and bake it too. Double strike attack. You may discard 2 to attack. I think that's what I'm going to do, because that's going to help me power up a little bit. So I'm going to enact this card while I'm doing this card. So I'll gain 2 for doing the card. I attack for a value of 5. No, for a value of 6, because I have that bonus. Then I'm going to discard 2 to attack again for another value of 6, keeping that strength. Then this card floats over here to my discard pile, and our Windrazor will go again, this shifting down, and the triangle happening. Deal 3 damage to the opponent within range 1 of the tornadoes. I'm not in range of any of them. That is why I backed off a little bit. So we're going to be fine. And another card comes out here. This card is Focus. Move. You may discard another card. Okay. Discarding another card will shift something higher in my timeline, or my resource generation, which is nice. But I don't think that's what we're going to do. I think we're going to go ahead and do Flame Burst. Deal 2 damage to each opponent within range 2. Deal an additional 2 damage for each 4 Ember I have. I gain 3 of these. So I'm going to have 3 Ember when I take this action. So I will deal 4 total damage from that attack. And then I think I might have defeated it. Let me count. 10, 4, 8. That is enough. Yeah, that takes its health down to 0. So when the enemy deck is empty, immediately go to script 73, flip this card, and follow the instructions on the back. If you won, go to script 26. So this is why this wasn't the primary thing they wanted us to show, because it's simple, it's basic, but it's getting us up and running with the game, right? It's showing you how the actual flow and functionality of the game will work. So I hope they let me post this, both because I'm doing it, and because I think it's valuable to see like the general introduction to the game, and I like the lore. Okay, the wind creature stops fighting, and you use that occasion to approach it and place your hand on its semi-corporeal arm. It looks into your eyes and lets out a poignant wail. It suddenly cowers in shame and rushes behind the turbine, wedging its flexible body into a dark crevice. It seems the crisis is averted for now. Open the creature study on page 2 and insert cards 13A into the slot matching its number. So I already have this one inserted here. So we'll flip this over, check our Pokédex. Frightened Windraiser has been noted. We've discovered it. We know what it is. Take Shoot Forward action card, Divider 3. So we'll grab Divider 3 cards here. And we're looking for the card Shoot Forward. No, not you. Where are you? Shoot Forward. Okay. Move, move, move. You may decide to add it to your creature deck by replacing it with a chosen neutral card, or place it into the unlocked card tray. I do want to go ahead and place this in. I think I'm going to replace Focus right here. I like the ability to discard other cards, but right now I haven't really culled my deck or cultivated my deck specifically. So this is going to pop into my, I have this card available, and Shoot Forward is now going to be part of my official deck. By the way, if you pay attention to the artwork they have on these cards, I was skeptical of them at first because they're a little bit more abstract, but they really do give you the feeling. Look at this, Strike. It looks like a dust cloud. But then you think through it, and you're like, any creature that has this card, it looks like this powerful explosion happening on the ground. I've grown to really like the way that they're presenting this game and the way that the artwork is coming through. Move, move, move is one of these. Shoot Forward, where you just feel like the wind rushing behind you or between you. I don't know, I like it. Go to script 2. Alright. Script 2. Both your creature and you are panting heavily. I don't know why. I didn't do much other than scream, so, you know. The Windraiser is fast, and keeping up with it takes a toll on your weary bodies. You should be enjoying an evening meal now, not fighting your proteges. You finally have time to look around. Despite some scared people and the creature slowly calming down, there are only a few visible consequences of the tremor. A wall of one building crumbled, one of the machines grinds unpleasantly, and several flower pots fell from a windowsill. Still, it's time to make sure that everything is all right. You spot 2 rangers helping an older man to his feet and approach them. You often join forces with the rangers, whose job it is to prevent Careburg from dangerous creatures in the area. Together, you decide what to do next. They will make a quick reconnaissance around the city to check if the quakes were caused by creatures. Your job will be to make sure that everyone in the quarter is safe and the technology isn't in danger. You will meet the Shaded Tavern in an hour. You bid a short farewell and set off. Clear the arena. So our models will go off to the side. Our wind will go off to the side. Everything else might be able to stay for the time being, possibly. And you can find the clearing arena rules on the page XXX. Gain 1 fatigue. Gain 1 silver. So, fatigue is this. This goes into my deck. This will be an annoying little card that doesn't do anything. I just spend it, and then I like a neutralized action. So that'll be mixed into my deck. Very nice. The less of these you have, the better. I'll set these cards off to the side and gain 1 silver. So silver is going to be a resource that we have. Like I said, the damage is going to stay. And all of these embers are going to discard. Open to map 1. Map 1 will be this lovely map here. Now, with these maps, they have areas where we can explore. They also have secret numbers hidden around them, like there's number 13 right here in this back corner. We can explore those as well. And they'll have a time token. Anytime we come across a time indicator, we'll be shifting this mark down. So, and this will be a book eventually. Right now, we just have a whole set of them, like printed out like this. Open map 1. Place secret card 13 face down in the event slot. So secret card 13. I need to find secret card 13. Here we are. Secrets. Card 13. Right there. Set the time marker to 3. See what's happening in the city before the Rangers return. Begin your exploration. So the game is going to be this mix of exploring, flavor text, discovery, building your deck, building your items, building your creature, and then going out and having these combat rounds, these showdown rounds, either boss battles or more like exploratory mini combat sequences that go in between the game state. I think it feels like Pokemon. I also don't think that's a negative thing. I like Pokemon. Alright, let's see here. Where do we want to explore? So, looking at the map, we have a city gate here at 10. We have some type of shop at 29. Another shop at 35. Another shop at 12. Maybe a house at 12. No. Brewery, bookstore, and maybe a diner or a grocery store. We have a ruined building at 3. We have a hidden number 13. And we have a ruined windmill at 24. I have not been to the windmill yet. So I'm going to go check that out at 24 as the first thing that we do. 24, taking a look at the windmill and making sure that you all can still see the book. The Windraiser peeks from its hiding place, visibly calmer now. This is where we're fighting it. It scans the surroundings uneasily, but also glances at the turbines as if to make sure that the wind flows through them. A group of engineers is repairing some damage done to the machines, but everything seems fine thanks to your previous intervention. You don't even want to imagine what would have happened if all the gears had stopped. Choose one. Let your creature spend some time with the Windraiser. Gain 2 Ember. Interesting. Do I not get rid of my Ember? I'm going to need to check that cleaning section of the gamebook. I'll be back in just a moment, letting you know what the verdict is. Okay, so I have checked, and it turns out I discard my Ember after the combat, but this will let me gain 2 Ember, which seems to be a bonus to going into the next combat. I kind of like that. I'm going to go ahead and do that. I'm going to go ahead and gain 2 Ember, but I will move my time track down by 1. Now this script ends, and I'm back to exploring. I kind of want to go check out number 29 up here. It's another one that I haven't been to. I'm sorry, you guys are kind of getting the ones that I didn't go look at, but we'll see. You smile as you walk beneath a signboard with a painted pouch filled with coins and hazelnuts. You've always liked this place. You can buy various useful bits and bobs. The storekeeper says, the scorekeeper, Hazel, looks at you from under the permanently frowned brows and says in a surprisingly warm tone, "Welcome, tamer. Do you need something, love?" Everything seems normal at first, but you notice her hands are trembling. Buy smaller equipment. Discard 1 silver, draw 3 items, gain 1 of them, and discard the rest. Buy a toolbox. Discard 2 silver, gain secret card 101, then choose again. Buy a lantern. Discard 1 silver, gain secret card 102, then choose again. Speak with Hazel. Only if no token is in slot 3. Go to script 17. Leave. So if I buy smaller equipment, I can't speak with Hazel. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to spend my 1 silver to buy a lantern. Secret card 102. Do I have secret card 102? I do. Perfect. A lantern. It casts a strong, warm light. Oh, good. Look at me. I have a lantern. It doesn't do anything for me at the moment, but I have a lantern. And you all know, Kingdom Death, you need a lantern to survive. It's, the lifeblood, if you will. I'm now going to speak with Hazel. I'm going to go to script 17 and see what happens here. I assume this will cost time, because none of the others actually cost time. I could have ended this without having cost any of my resource. I also have coffee. So. Ooh! It's delicious. It's also way hotter than I expected it to be, because it's been sitting there for this whole video. That thermos works. Okay, 17. If token B is in slot 4, no. If token A is in slot 4, no. Otherwise, read on. Actually, I could use your help. No, don't look so scared. It has nothing to do with that scary tremor, but if you happen to visit the library, Please retrieve my medallion from Slade the librarian, who tricked me into selling it to him for naught. He's studying it with all of his books as if it were something really precious. I can't stand losing money, even if indirectly. Hazel speaks much faster in the end, visibly perplexed. You can tell that her merchant pride was hurt. But should you really help her right now? There are more important things going on than trivial favors. Place token card A in slot 3. Hazen's medallion is in the library. A in slot 3. I do... No, over here. No, over here. I do kind of think pursuing a trivial medallion is worthwhile. So let's go to page 35. Seems like the responsible answer. Okay. The air is always cooler inside the thick walls of the library. The librarian Slade greets you with a bored smile and returns to sorting the books that lie scattered on the ground. Inside the reading room, a young man, Alvin, sits silently in the center and is shaking a little. He looks up from time to time, avoiding eye contact. I don't trust Alvin. He's clearly on opioids. Have you all seen the new TV show? What's it called? It's called Painkiller on Netflix. I binge watched it. I shouldn't have. It was really good though. That was lovely and also very eye-opening to the devastation that opioids have ravaged across my state, Kentucky. It's been a problem. Yeah, so that's the thing. Choose one. Approach Alvin. Go to script 62. Read about the earth creatures. Requires token A in slot 5. We don't have that. Go to script 27. Approach Slade. Go to script 31. Leave the script ends. Do I approach the shaking man? Do I get distracted? Or do I double down and I approach Alvin? I think we approach the shaking man, and then if given the opportunity, we circle back from the medallion. We're going to get distracted. Script 62. It's clearly what the book wants me to do. It told me that he was on drugs. So, as you approach the lad, you notice bruises on his hands and the side of his face. When you open your mouth, he just shakes his head and says, "Don't say anything, please. I was training with Luminesca this morning, trying some more compatible techniques. No, please, don't say anything. I know it didn't end well. Just like you said before, Tamer, I will listen to you from now on. I promise. Luminesca is fine. I see the questions forming on your lips. Leave me alone. I'm ashamed, all right? You've heard such a promise from him at least half a dozen times already. You're sure he will do something stupid again, but it's good to know that he didn't hurt himself much." Go to script 35. That's right. We're going to find that medallion. So, Luminesca, for any of you that are curious, is the special bonus secret starting creature that you could get if you follow the campaign and then back the campaign. Requires both, I believe. I think they may have it for sale too. I don't know. But you get it as a bonus if you follow and back. Let's go ahead and go to Slade script 31. Ooh. We're going to have a check. Checks are fun. If slot 3 is empty, Slade is busy right now. It's not. If token B is in slot 3, Slade doesn't want to speak anymore. Otherwise, read on. "Hazel, that sly hag. Of course she sent you. The only person I'm fond of. I won't fall for it this time. The medallion is fascinating. I can't simply give it back to her because she didn't realize its value." Well, you started this conversation. You might as well try to convince him. Perform a test and check the results below. Each pair of moons at the end of the test is going to move my time marker forward. So, a test. A test uses your item deck. Your item deck will have things that you can purchase, abilities that you can have, extra resources, but it'll also be the thing that you use to resolve checks. So, 5 or less, 6, 7, or 8 or more. I do not want to get 8, but I'll start the check by flipping the first card, and you'll see what I'm talking about. A pair of boots. They don't really matter that much, but up here on this top you can see the moon symbol. 2 of those will move my time marker forward, and you can see a value of 2. So right now I have 2. Let's push forward a little bit more. Another 2. We're up to 4. We're still 5 or less, though, so let's keep pushing for 5, 6, 7. The perfect amount. I'm stopping here. It's a bit of a push your luck mechanic, but you also can get knowledge around what is in your deck and how you've built it out, and what you've weeded from your item deck. So it'll restrict the amount of things that you can purchase, but it'll increase the likelihood of you getting good results on things like these objective tests. Okay. 7. Somehow, Slade feels obliged to compensate you for your efforts. Gain 1 silver, and go to script 70. I'm kind of bummed I have the silver, though, because I have to go back, maybe, to purchase. We'll see. Script 70. I'm going to help you, Hazel. We got this. Slade sighs. You may take the medallion. It lies in the reading room on the table with 2 blue books. Just remind the woman that she owes me. You quickly find the books and the medallion wedged between the pages of one of them. It's a little strange. It has symbols representing 5 elements, but all but darkness. Darkness isn't popular, yes, and there are many superstitions connected to it, but when an artist represents all elements, they don't omit darkness. Strange. The books are about archaeological findings from the desert in the far north. Something about an ancient temple. You don't have time to read it now, though. Discard the token A from slot 3. You've retrieved the medallion. Place token A in slot 4. Hazel is waiting for her trinket. Gain secret card 4. This will be the medallion, I am certain of it. We have a lovely medallion, an ancient-looking trinket engraved with angular symbols. Who knows, maybe it will come in handy. It won't, because we're going to go give it to Hazel as soon as possible. Okay, that'll go next to my lantern here. And this moved my time forward by 1, and this script ends. Alright, we're down to 1 time left. All we have. Let's go back to Hazel for now. So this will be book number 29. And let's see what we can resolve. So, we're meeting her. She's doing well. We could buy smaller equipment, but we would like to go ahead and talk with her. Speak to Hazel. Go to script 17. I assume she's going to reward us well for completing this. If token A is in slot 4, go to script 77. Hazel asks if you manage to recover her lost trinket. Hand her the medallion, or lie that you're still working on it. Do we keep the medallion, or do we go with objective honesty? I'm going to hand her the medallion. Script 23. I didn't come this far not to give Hazel what she desperately needs. You place the medallion on the counter. Hazel's eyes glint under thick brows. Thank you, Tamer. What a wonderful person you are. She grabs your hand and squeezes it tightly. If you find anything like this, I can buy it for some nice coins. The boy that brought this one to me said he found it in a strange cave he fell into. He was from Phaeton? Probably there, yes. As a token of my gratitude, have some coin. Or maybe you want a tool. They may come in handy when our city is having a hard time. Move forward by 1. Discard secret card 4. Flip token A in slot 4 to side B. Choose 1. Gain secret cards 101, specialist toolbox, and 1 or 2 the lantern. This script ends. If you already have one of them, you cannot choose this option. Gain 2 silver. This script ends. I should not have spent my money on a silly lantern. Darn it. Okay. That is the end of our time. So we'll go ahead and flip secret card 13. An hour has passed. If token A is in slot 2, or V, or 5, go to script 76. Otherwise, go to script 75. So we haven't progressed the time yet. An hour has passed and the Rangers should be back in the city. You agreed to meet in the Shadered Tavern. Play secret card 13, if it's the secret you just drew, face down in the event slot. Set the time marker to 3. You don't have much time, you should hurry. Place token A in slot 2. But we do have a little bit of time. Rangers await you in the tavern. Let's go ahead and buy an item. So I'm going to go back to 29. I know, calm down. I'm going to go quick. Don't worry, I just want to show you what items that we can get. I'm going to spend 1 silver. I'm going to spend 2 silver to draw the toolbox first, because I'm frustrated I didn't get it. Buy toolbox, secret card 101. Boom, toolbox. A set of instruments of different shapes and sizes. Then, so I would have saved basically a coin. I'm going to spend another gold to go ahead and buy some equipment, draw 3 items, gain 1 of them and discard the rest. Red berries, hobnails, or steel hobnails. During combat, discard this card. When you move, add 2. During combat, discard this card. When you move, add 1. Red berries. During combat, when you attack, add 1. I'm going to take the red berries. I want a little bit more power in my attack. These 2 will be discarded into our item discard pile. Now we have a few more things that we can do. We can start exploring the city a little bit more. We haven't moved time forward at all yet. This token that token remains there, I suppose. We've already checked number 24. We've already went to 35. I kind of want to go to the city gate now. Let's go check number 10. The gate is open. A road snakes from it and down the slope leading to the dense forest below. Reappearing among the fields of natural glades. As you look farther, you see some hills, a wide, slow river, and several picturesque lakes. Your imagination adds creatures to each scene, making you smile. Choose one. Set off to search for the source of the tremors. Requires a token in slot 5. You're not sure when you'll return to Careburg. Go to script 14 or script ends. Okay. I see what's happening. Let's then go explore the secret number. I've scoured the map here and I can only find 1 secret number so far. That's number 13 right up here in this little corner. Let's see what we find. If token B is in slot 5, 6, you've already searched the area. We have not. Otherwise, read on. You walk by the collapsed wall of an alchemic study. Poor Olden. You hope he has enough savings to rebuild. When you briefly look inside, you see if anyone is trapped beneath the rubble. You wince at many broken vials and beakers on the floor. The shards are drenched with multicolored substances. It doesn't seem safe. Before it completely collapses, you should check if there's anything worth saving. Place token B in slot 6. Okay, right there. You search the area by the collapsed wall. So, another item check. And once again, we're looking for a 7. 1 with a moon. At the end of the test, for each one at the end of the test, we'll move time marker forward. I don't love that. 2, 3, 4, 5. I want to get to 7. 7's the best, but 6 would also be acceptable. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Everything here is shattered and useless. Time marker forward. This script ends. Time's going to go 1, 2. We've now already searched the area. So we're not going to have an opportunity to search the area. But again, we could have got a potion from that, which would have been very nice to have. But we didn't. Let's go ahead and go to number 3. And then let's finish this at 12. Yeah, we might as well check the last location here. Give you all as much of the reading of the flavor text as possible. If token A is in slot 1, go to script 4. If token B is in slot 1, the machine is not working if script ends. Otherwise, read on. You cringe when you hear the scraping sounds coming from the cogs that tremble as they spin. You inspect the machine and wonder where the engineer responsible for the area is. Maybe there are other places needing their help. Assumptions aside, this place needs maintenance. You've learned something about the technology and you think you can give it a go, or turn it off at least. Choose one. Try to repair the machine. Turn off the machine. It won't get damaged if it's not working. Gain 1 item, place token B in slot 1, script ends, or leave script ends. I'm going to try to repair the machine. Going to 69. Not going to, but going to. One of you just left. At least one of you just left. Okay. If you have a specialist toolbox, I just bought that. You will examine them later. Oh no, where is it? I just started reading. I just looked at the page. I was like, I'll read there. That's the go brain. You got this. You may discard it during the check to add or subtract 1 from your check value. Now perform the test and check the result below. For each pair for each pair of moons, I will gain 1 damage. Alright, I'm looking for a subtle 7 again, but I have a little bit more manipulation because I have the toolbox. 3, 4, 5 and 1 moon, 6 and 2 moons. That's going to be a damage. If I push, I would gain 1 silver, but I'm going to the same script either way. Anything really from 5 to 7 is a benefit. Do I want to hunt for that silver? I don't think I do at the moment. I'm going to take the damage, which I don't love, discard these, and I will go ahead and go to script 25. Alright. Repairing the machine proved easier than you'd expected. That's because I'm really good at it. When you finish leveling and adjusting some shafts and gears, you hear a surprised shout, "Stop! You might damage it!" As you turn around, you see a woman in overalls, a toolbox in her hand. She recognizes you and lets out a sigh of relief. "Oh, hello, Tame. I thought you were an overly eager citizen. Thanks for the help. Let me see." She pushes past you and examines your work. She nods, satisfied. "Great job. Sorry that you had to take care of it. I panicked when the quake struck and ran to see if my family was safe. Fortunately, nothing happened. Thanks again. I have much more work to do. There's a lot of tiny damage all around, which can eventually lead to a full-scale malfunction." Time marker moves forward. Place a token A in slot 1. Token A, slot 1. Gain secret card 5. I did not explore this much last time I was here. Local hero. You've helped the local community. Your deed will be remembered. So nice. And gain 1 item. So I'll draw an item from the top of the deck. Lucky coin during an adventure. Discard to gain 1 silver. Very nice. So I have 2 discarding abilities so far. The script ends and secret card 13 again. If token A is in slot 2 or 5, go to script 76. Otherwise, go to script 75. Script 75 is going to tell me to reset the board, I think. Let's check. Let's just make sure. An hour has passed. Secret card 13. You're running out of time. Place token A in slot 2. Oh, maybe. Script 76. We are forced to move forward now. The amber sun hides behind the city walls. Many shops and buildings have closed for the day. Discard secret card 13. It's the secret you just drew. Okay. Gain secret 14 and place it on the map. Secret 14. Okay. Place secret card 15 face down in the event slot. Place secret card 15 face down in the event slot. Okay. Set the time marker to 2. You will have to leave the city soon. Secret card 14 is here, though. Oh, gain secret card 14. Let's check this. Place this card on the map. Oh, so cool. Okay, so the book is closed. The light is out. Is there a secret hidden number anywhere? So this is one of these things. I love games, by the way, that do this, that have cards that go onto the board that change everything. So now the tavern's there, the bookstore's closed. So if you'd been planning to go there, you can't anymore. It's closed for the day. Oh, ice cube. Wow. Classy move. Okay, we are going to go ahead and move the game forward. We're going to go to book number 12, checking slot A. When you entered the tavern, you're amazed by the cool breeze wafting through. The innkeeper placed some fans in the ceiling and cleverly connected them to the stoves in the kitchen. Nice. You approach the bar, feeling the patrons' gaze on your back, but their whispers stroke your ego. They know that the Windraiser and the machines are safe because of you. Olin, the local alchemist, sits by the table, face hidden in his hands. If you remember correctly, his workshop is somewhere nearby. Number 13 that we checked already. It's all broken, there's nothing good. Take a rest, heal 2 or discard 1 fatigue. Move time forward, this script ends. Speak with people and accept their thanks. Go to script 15. Speak with the Rangers. Requires a token in a token A in slot 5 or slot 2. We have that. Approach Olin. Go to script 21. Leave the tavern. I want to speak with the people, accept their thanks, and then heal my Emberling. Let's see if that's possible. You sit next to a glassblower and his apprentice. The space fills quickly with more people interested in your story. You tell more about the encounter with the Windraiser and your current findings about what could have happened to the city. They listen to you, enchanted, and give you something in return for your help. A woman mentioned seeing an alchemist study with a collapsed wall. She hasn't seen anyone inside, but it might be worth checking to see if anyone is trapped there. Gain 1 item. Let's hope this is worth it, because we're not going to be able to heal. Blotchy nuts. During combat, when an enemy attacks, gain a shield. Okay. It's not too bad. Some combat abilities. And move our time forward by 1. This script ends. So, if we go back to script 12, we now do not have the luxury of waiting, or else we'll be in a position where we have to check card 15. And I don't know that I want to check card 15. I've never ran into it before. But maybe we push our luck. Maybe we just, let time go. Do we talk to the hunters? No, I'm going to heal. I'm going to see what happens, because I've never seen this card before. I'm kind of curious. Heal 2, or discard 1 fatigue. I kind of think it's more important to get this little nuisance out of my deck. A little fatigue bug. I'm going to get rid of the fatigue bug. And I'm going to move time forward by 1. I could have done this twice, technically, but I wanted to talk to the people. Secret card 15. There is no sunlight left. Moons slowly creep into the night sky. You must leave the city and search for the source of the tremors before another one strikes Cairburg. Gain... Oh, no! Gain a fatigue! If token A is in slot 5, go to script 14. Otherwise, go to script... Token A is in slot 5. Token A is not in slot 5. So we're going to have to go ahead and go to script 28. Oh, bugger. And I gain a little care fatigue. I should have seen that coming. Pushing my luck with the fatigue there. Alright. Going to script 28. I wonder what would have put that token there. You've lost enough time in the city, and you must speak with the Rangers. They have been waiting for you in the Shader Tavern for quite some time now. When you enter the building, one of the Rangers beckons you, visibly irritated. Finally, you took your sweet time, Tamer. In short, we spotted about a dozen golems near Cairburg, but they were heading north, so we disengaged. But, as you know, their abilities are connected with tremors, of course, on a much smaller scale than today's, and it's your job to make sure they aren't farther danger to the city. You may start by looking near the glade and the tall birch. The woman and her companions stand up abruptly and storm out of the tavern. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to. I was in the tavern. You could have seen me. All the people were talking to me. We had a good time. Really. I got drinks. They gave me berries. It's been lovely. Discard secret card from the event slot, if any. Close the map. You exit the city heading towards the glade pointed out by the Rangers. The ground has been trampled by heavy, stumpy feet, but the tracks disappear in a scattered pile of decayed leaves. 3 paths lead north. Each of them could accommodate a dozen golemos mentioned by the colleagues. If you have secret card 1, go to script 9. I do not. It's sitting right there. Otherwise, choose one. Follow the fissured path. Take the path with the disturbed moss. Go through the muddy... I'm not going through the muddy path. I have a fire dragon with me. A little tiny little beast of a dragon. I'm going to script 39 on the fissured path. I've never been here before, so you're on this journey with me. We're all adventuring together. The longer you tread the fissured path, the more often you think that this was a mistake. The cracks seem old. The only fresh one is quite large, but it started in the opposite direction, so it wasn't made by the Golemos. When you're about to turn back, your path intersects with a mossy one, and finally, you see the Golemos' tracks. Stumpy footprints on damp ground. If token A is in front of you, flip it to the B side. Otherwise, place token A in front of you. You're straying in the forest. Go to script 33. Ooh, this is pretty. This is pretty. 33. The forest grows thin and you see well-known hills before you. You stop in your tracks, your mouth agape. The hillside is split in half by a gaping wound, through which you can see an unnatural interior carved in stone. The group of Golemos are squeezing through the gap, entering the mysterious ruins. From a distance, they look like a line of clumsy ants. Intrigued, you start approaching the hill through the bramble grove. Perform the test and check the results below. I'm looking for a 9 potentially. So, see what happens. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Do I stop at 8? Or should go to script 45 or place wind in front of me? Do I push to try to go to 9? I think so. I think I've had a lot of high numbers come out. I think a 1 is likely. There we go. You notice something in the way. Place a wind token in front of you. Go to script 45. Alright. Script 45. You hear a cracking sound from behind you. A Golemo, which now emerges from the thick brambles, must have stayed behind to guard the entrance and keep its friends safe. It's a good guy. What a good guy. What a good Golemo, right? The ground under your feet starts to tremble, and suddenly you know you must prepare for a fight. Set combat following the instructions below. You can find extended setup rules in the rulebook. Alright, I'm going to take this and set this off to the side. And we have a Golemo to fight. Oh. This time the arena card has setup instructions. Resolve it now. So, use arena card number 2. I have not been to this fight before. Bramble Forest front. Setup. Place 1 healthy berry in each Bramble Forest space. So, we want a healthy berry here and a healthy berry here. I have a feeling either I'm going to have to pick those up or the enemy is going to. When you move to a space with a healthy berry, discard it and heal 2. When an enemy moves to a space with a healthy berry, nothing happens. Good. Okay, they're for me. At the end of the combat, flip this card and follow the instructions on the back. Okay, prepare your creatures. Place your creatures standing on space 1. I'm still using my Fireling. If there's a wind token in front of you, discard it and you may swap the position of any 2 cards in the 1 to 4 slots. That's very nice. So I, despite the fact that I have fatigue, am going to have a little bit of deck manipulation here. So we'll set these off to the side. Player deck, and let's go ahead and draw. We have a defensive stance. I like that lower down. We have a leap that's going to let me move. We have a strike, which is going to give me extra energy. And we have a flaming bite. I think I might want the defensive stance earlier than I want the strike. Possibly. So let's go ahead and swap these. And let's continue setting up. Prepare your enemy. Use cards 20A, 21A, and 22A. Divider 4. Okay. Check in Divider 4. What do we have here? Ooh, Golemo. Okay, so we need card 20A, 21A, and 22A. Follow the setup instructions on the card 21B. So 21B is going to say, place a special ability token in the third space. So we have a mark over here on the third space. Always place quakes in the space closest to you. Oh, so these are technically quakes. So let's do something else to indicate that we have berries there. I don't know, these tokens aren't technically for that, but we'll do that for now. And these are technically quake tokens, so we're going to need these tokens to use. They look like berries, though. They look like little plants, right? It can also be the space that you are in. There can only be one quake in each space. You and Golemo can freely move onto spaces with quakes. When you are instructed to place a quake, and all of them are in the arena, use the quake that is the farthest from you. So it sounds like he's going to be chasing me down and trying to beat me up. So this card goes here. We have our Golemo card, which will pop in here. Which side do they connect on? I think they connect like this. Yep. I do like the artwork fitting together. We also have a whole pile of other things. I think we're going to be able to tame this guy. Use a Golemo standee. So you're our lovely Golemo standee. Use the following enemy cards, 2 of each. So we are going to need to go ahead and add 1 card to here. So we have 2 triangles, 2 upside downs, and now 2 diplops. Again, not the official terms, but just whatever my mind came up with when I was looking at them. If a water is in front of you, discard it and place 1 quake in the chosen space with a creature. Reminder, this time your enemy has a passive ability. Make sure to familiarize yourself with it now. Okay. So let's check all of our conditions here. Let's check the whole card. Health 24, attack 2, movement 1. Passive. Golemo has 2 defense for each quake in range 1 from it. Okay. Attack, rush, attack 2. Put a quake token in range 2, attack, and rush. Rush, attack, put quake in range 1. He's going to be putting a lot of quake down. He's going to be hard to beat up. The opponent gains 3 damage for each quake in range 2 from them. So I'm going to be wanting to avoid quake as much as possible. Tire out. The Golemo has at least 19 damage. Lure it into the mud. The Golemo ends its space in an exclamation mark space. Oh, interesting. Show your power. Use your special ability in a space with quake. You may decide to not deal damage with this special ability. So these are like objectives that I'm going to be trying to complete. Sounds like a plan. Alright. Let us continue. Reminder, in this combat you'll be able to tame your enemy because it has a taming card. To learn more about taming, go to the rulebook. Close the adventure journal and start combat. Let me go ahead and double check the taming rules. I'll be back in just a moment. I want to make sure I'm as familiar as possible with them before we actually start the combat, because there's a chance that every time I hit one of these objectives, I unlock or break something. Okay, so I've discovered exactly how taming works. Each one of these 3 abilities have to be completed from first to last. I need to deal 19 damage. I then need to lure it into the mud. I then need to use my super ability, but not do damage, just exhaust it. So to start with, we've just got to fight each other. Alright, I do have my special items, and we are set up and ready to go ahead and go. I think we're trying to capture this guy. That seems like a reasonable plan. But let's start off violent. Remember, I do have 2 bonuses. I've got 3 damage already, which is bad, but I do have 2 little ember shits from my encounters in the story game. Move, attack, ignores, shield. This is a very nice card to have, but right now it doesn't matter because he doesn't have any shield down on the table. So I almost think doing something a little bit more basic, like I will spend 1 to go ahead and move. 1, 2, because my maximum movement is 2. I will gain this token, which is going to go ahead and heal 2 damage. That seems reasonable. And I'm going to go ahead and use a strike ability, which is going to gain me 2 total ember. And let me do a simple attack. He has no defense at the moment, so I'll get the most out of my attack, which is going to be 5 damage, popping right over here onto his card. Now he's going to go. Rush, attack, put a Quake token in range 1. So, Rush, he's already there. Attack for a damage of 2. Give me that 2 damage back. I need some armor, I need some shields. And Quake token in range 1. So, Quake token's going to pop down there. If I move away from that now, I'll be in a better space, because he has 1 damage. Oh, it's from it specifically, so I kind of want to pull him away from it. That's not going to be possible right now, and I think I go for a big attack. I'm going to do Flaming Bite. I just got out Offensive Stance. That'll give me a little bit more attack damage, which I like. Do I keep building? I think I keep building, actually. His next action is going to be to rush, attack, rush, +2, and then attack again. So he's going to hit me 2 more times, 4 more damage. I think I can take that, though. I'm going to take the Offensive Stance card. It's going to give me a passive +1 attack damage. And I'm going to go ahead and gain another 2 Ember from the top and from the card. Gives me up to 5 Ember. I'm close to the point where I can trigger my super ability, which is the Fire Nova. And that's the last part of capturing him. Flip another card here. Ooh, Lava Lash. Very nice. But none of my cards are shifting around, which I don't like. This is going to move down. This is going to move down. Okay. He's attacking me for a total of 4 more damage. So I'll switch this with a purple cube. That is painful, but I think I'm in a good position. I am now going to deal a very solid hit to him. I'm going to do Flaming Bite. Move. Do I want to move? Should I shift away from this at all? I will move down here, because there's a chance I want to pick this up, and I also want to lure him into that mud pit after I've done enough damage. Then, attack, ignoring shield, so ignoring the 2 armor that he has, and dealing 1 extra damage. So I've got him up to 11 damage so far. I only need 19 to potentially capture him, and all my cards will be shifting to the right, and I will gain 3 more Ember from doing that. Now, I could do, for 4 Ember, a follow-up attack. I could also do, for 1 Ember, discard and draw 1. Do I want Defensive Stance up here at the top? Or do I want to move some of my other cards a little bit farther? Or, maybe I want Defensive Stance for the turn after this, where I have to lure him towards me. I think possibly. He is, though, going to be triggering a special now. Okay, let's just move forward and see what happens. This moves down, and this. I don't know if it goes that way, actually. It might go to the end, might build. That seems more logical than what I'm doing. Either way, triangle, rush, attack, put a Quake within range 1. So Quake within range 1. He's attacking me again for 2 more damage. I'm pretty close to knocked out, honestly. And now, the opponent gains 3 damage for each Quake in range 2 from them. Oh no. Ooh. The opponent, that's me, gains 3 damage for each Quake within range 2 of them. So I could have seen this happening, because I can't take 6 damage. I could have seen this happening. I could have backed up, spent an Ember to move, because my move was for my card, and backed up here. That would have healed 2 of my damage. Okay, and he, on his turn, would have moved forward to me, placed down another token, and I will take an additional 3 damage now, leaving me currently at 10. I only have 4 health left, but that's the only way to continue fighting him, because that put me in a really bad spot. Now, all these cards will shift. They'll pop into a discard here, and these will start moving back down. That seems like the best option, because I don't want to lose, especially for something that I could have obviously seen. If I can get enough damage now, I'd trigger the luring into the mud. I don't know that I can get enough damage. Attack, you may discard 2 to attack again. That would be another 6 damage. It's almost enough. It's not quite there, though. So, I see a way. Alright, Lava Lash. Deal 3 damage in range 3. I don't believe this is mitigated. I think this is unblockable damage. You may discard 2 Ember to resolve another card. I gain 2 Ember, by the way, from doing that card, so it'll be net neutral. I will rule again that I don't garden that top Ember. And double strike here. Attack. You may discard 2 Ember to attack again. I will attack twice for a damage value of 10, but minusing 2 defense from each one, so a total damage of 6. That's 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. He has 4 health left, just like me, but I also am going to go ahead and trigger. He has over 19, and after this next turn, he will end his turn in that space, and then all I need to do is trigger my special ability. So, his turn is going to be put a Quake on the map within range 2. Okay, attack and rush. So, he's going to attack me there. I don't think he moves. But I'm going to get hit for another 2 damage. And he's ending his turn in a mud pit. And now, I think the only option I have is to take this, which is going to give me 4 total Ember, and immediately spend 8 of them, leaving me with 1, to trigger my Firestorm to do this last capture ability. If you tamed the enemy, go to script 34. I did. It took a little bit of navigating, but I was successfully able to tame the creature. Script 34. The Golemo stares at you. There's no anger in its eyes, only admiration. You stop your creature from taking any action and start speaking to the Golemo in a calm voice. The words don't matter. The secret lies in the tone and the steady, unflinching eye contact. You approach the wild creature. Place a little earth mark in front of me. Go to script 38. You extend your hand towards the Golemo and the creature speaking in a low, relaxed voice. You're not its enemy, and it shouldn't feel that. And it should feel that. It allows you to touch its rough, moss-covered skin. You make it feel that there's no need to be afraid. You are not here to hurt its friends. You just want to make sure that your friends are safe too. The Golemo stumbles forward, placing his hand on your knee. A first sign of trust. Now, as you're sure you will get along well, you feel a connection with the earth creature as if your hearts were tied up with a silver string that conveys emotions. Right now, the Golemo is calming down. The remains of stress disappearing in a pleasant feeling and a new beginning. Open the creature study on page 2 and insert cards 19A, 19A, and 20B. 20B. 22, 21, 20B. There are not many other creatures as reclusive as Golemos, who can be found only in deep woods and deep valleys. However, when in stress, they can go on a rampage, attacking everything in sight and using their connection to the earth to cause a small-scale earthquake. Very nice. So that's going to go into my binder here. Close the creature study. Place cards 22, 23, and 24 with all its action cards in the party tray. 22, 22, 23, 24, and his special action cards, which look awesome. Okay? Clear the arena. You can find Cleaning the Arena rules on and go to script 53. Script 53. You gaze at the gaping wound in the hill. How long have the ruins been hiding in there? Cairburg was founded about 600 years ago, and there's no mention of such a construction in any book or story. You imagine knowledge, treasures, and secrets hidden inside and smile. But then you notice the Golemo by your side and think about the other earth creatures hiding inside. The potential source of the tremor that struck the city earlier. You were mainly here to check what caused the quake and, if possible, prevent other dangers from happening. You take a step forward and enter. As you go, rocks and soil give way to a tiled floor, and plastered walls replace stone formatations. You look around a large room built in a style you've never seen before. The dim sunshine coming from behind you casts more shadows than light. Suddenly you hear a rumble behind you and the floor shakes. You jump forward and protect your creatures and to save your own skin. When the dust settles, you notice that the path is blocked. The hill is still shaking slightly. You must find a way out and maybe investigate these ruins a little. Curiosity killed the cat, right? Open map 2. I have a feeling we're going to find some stuff that we can sell to the storekeeper when we get home. Alright, map number 2. Again, these maps are as follows. They don't specifically have... they're not in a book. They're printed. They come out. That's what I'm trying to say. If you have the Earth token, place token A in slot 1 and discard the Earth token. Very nice. The tamed Golemo seems eager to help you. Place secret card 16 face down in the event slot. Okay, right there. Set the time marker to 3. The ruins don't seem safe. You shouldn't dawdle. If you have token B in front of you, you discard it, and I do not have token B. If you have token A in front of you, discard it, and I do not have token A. Begin the exploration. Alright, so let's look around here and see what we think we have. So, I want to find hidden numbers as well. Ooh, 56 here. 71 looks like an exit. 65 looks like a staircase. 49 looks like some type of tome. 51 looks like maybe a library. Ooh, we have an observation portal at 37. Another portal or library area at 46. I think 51 looks interesting. I also think 56 seems really cool. I'm going to go with the secret objective first, because you all didn't get to see that last time. And I'm going to take a drink of my coffee. Oh. For the record, does anyone else out there have an expander in their mouth? Because I've been filming for about an hour, and I will tell you what, talking with an expander in your mouth makes your jaw so tired. I'm not used to it. I can talk on and on and on. You all know that. A unique ability to continue talking, even when the audience and your guests advise you not to. And with this expander, doing solo videos is really difficult because it's a constant stream, right? Okay. Shall we continue? Yes, I think so. Begin the exploration. We're going to 56, which is the hidden item there. You spot a rectangular shape in the darkness, which appears to be a strange door carved into a stone wall. You try to open it, but without success. When you feel the surface with your hands, you find a keyhole in a strange shape. If token A is in slot 6, it's not, go to script 60. Otherwise, you cannot open the door. You wonder if you can find a key nearby. This script ends. Let's go look for a key. 51. Searching down this little cavernous area here, because I thought that looked very interesting as well. If token B is in slot 2, it is not. You've already searched this place. Otherwise, read on. You're inside a dark room surrounded by a half-collapsed wall. Almost no light reaches this place, but you can discern shapes similar to short shelves or maybe chests. Choose one. Search the room or leave. We're going to search the room, which is going to take our time down by 1. We're going to go to script 47. If you have a lantern, you may discard it during the check to add or subtract 1 from the checked value. Now perform the test and check the results below. I have 1 item left of a 2, and I'm going to shuffle and fill this in now. I didn't use any of my items in the last fight, by the way, so I get to carry those forward. Which is part of the reason why I'm playing through this, even if I can't share this with the audience. I wanted to actually go into scenario 2, not with the quick setup guide that they have, but with, like, actually a character that we've ran the game with. Alright, let's move some of these Emberling cards over. Thank you very much. We're looking for 5, 6, or 7. And it does look like 7 is the key. Because, well, I can read. There, it says key right there. 2, 3, 4, 5. This is dangerous, because there is a chance I get something too high. 6. Oh. I can't believe I have all the ones this early. 7, 8. We are going to have to discard my lantern in order to manipulate this down by 1. Gain 1 silver. I have a lot of damage, by the way. Gain 1 item. So what item do I get? Rope. During check, add or subtract 2 from your check. That is very nice to have, especially because I just got rid of that lantern. Place token A in slot 6. Or slot 6. Where's slot 6? It's around here somewhere. It's probably under my book, right? Yeah, slot 6. We'll put it there. Then, place token B in slot 2. Okay. The script ends. You find several ancient trinkets and a twisted piece of metal that resembles a key. You take it with you. Maybe if you search the ruins thoroughly, you'll find a lock that it opens. You bet we will. We're going to go right back to 56 before we run out of time. Oh, by the way, each pair at the end of the check cost me 1 time. And I had a total of 3, so I'm going to go down by 1 more time. Let's go do this 56 before we run out of time. I don't think we're going to be able to search everything here in this location, though. Go to script 60 if token A is in slot 6. It is script 60. The door gives way under your touch when you turn the key found in the nearby dark room. You stand in a tiny chamber with a pedestal in the center. There are faded frescoes around you depicting silhouettes and blurry creatures working together on something unintelligible. There is another exit from this room, a tight corridor from which you can feel a gentle breeze. A way out, possibly? Gain secret card 6 if you don't have it already. I don't believe I do. Secret card 6 is Elemental Orb. Anytime, discard this to gain 4 power. Very nice. That is awesome. Okay, choose one. Follow the corridor. It must lead outside. Exiting the ruins will lead to the end of the scenario. Go to script 72. Search the alcove. Gain 1 item and 1 silver. Then choose again. But it's going to move my time down. And we're going to hit secret card 16. I don't want the extra fatigue. So I think this might be the time to leave. I'm going to follow it and go to script 72. I feel good with what we've collected. And I'm going to go ahead and push forward. The corridor ends abruptly, covered in rubble, but you can see the night sky through the hole several meters above your head. The climb is rather easy and you emerge on the side of the hill. Gain secret card 12. Secret exit. You found a secret exit from the ruins. Finding a way back in will be an easy task. Very nice. And go to script 64. Oh, when you take a deep breath and savor the chilly night air that smells of pines and wet grass, the ground shakes again. An ear-splitting sound rends the air. It feels like a whole world has snapped in half. You look toward Cairburg, fearing for the city. And you freeze when you see the lights on the walls go out or fall to the ground. You cannot see much. You are much too far, but you imagine the worst. You quickly check if your creatures are all right, and decide to move on. Then the stars and the moons disappear, confusing and scaring you even more. When the stars reappear, you realize that it was a large silhouette that obscured the sky. You can only think of one creature large enough. A dragon. You're not sure if it makes you feel calmer or even more terrified, but also a little excited. 61. We're hunting dragons. Congratulations! You've reached the end of the scenario. Store your creatures, action cards, and gain items and secrets in the save compartment. Store the rest of the compartments in the respective compartments. You gain access to scenario 2. I want to see, would I have gained fatigue here? The ruins shake in a sudden tremor. Go to page 55. I'm glad I didn't wait. Alright, thank you for joining me. This is scenario 1. Not even sure if I'm allowed to post it or not, but I wanted to film it. I'm now going to be going into scenario 2 with the stuff that I've found and discovered along the way, so I'm excited about that. So we'll be set up, we're going to get this cleaned up, we're going to go ahead and play scenario 2 right now, and I haven't seen any of it, so it'll be brand new to me. Very excited. Alright, whatever the case, whatever you do, remember to do the important thing, get out and play some games. We'll see you next time. Bye.